The Royal and the Servant. The story of depression. There is no kingdom that is born without a royal and without a faithful servant. But this is what happens when the royal is hurt. When the royal believes that their pain cannot be fixed, is when they retreat in a tower. They're hurt. They don't know what to do. They believe that nobody can solve their problems. They believe their problems is different than anybody else's. And they retreat in the tower trying to isolate themselves to fix the problem. In the meantime, the faithful servant is trying to run the kingdom. But the kingdom doesn't understand what they should fight for. Who is protecting them? Why would they leave the outsider run them, or they shouldn't leave the outsider run them? Who is the one that's going to take care of their well-being? So the kingdom is confused. Nevertheless, the faithful servant is trying to rationalize everything, is trying to be everywhere, is trying to be the commander of the army, is trying to be the doctor that saves people, is trying to be the counselor for everyone. Servant is limited because people want a royal. That's why they're a kingdom. This is what happens in depression when the royal is hurt, which is your heart, and the servant is trying to run the kingdom, which is your mind. Instead of working together, instead of a royal relying on the servant, the royal separates from the servant and let the mind run the kingdom. The mind is limited, is only a tool, is nothing else but a tool. And no kingdom wants to be ruled by a servant. Very simple. This is why in depression, your mind trying to take over and explain why your heart is hurt is not solving anything. On the other side, the heart doesn't know that it is possible to be fixed, doesn't want to be fixed. It isolates and it retreats itself in pain, not knowing there are strategies and solutions that can solve this problem. They don't communicate. The heart and the mind, the royal and the servant, they don't communicate. They don't work together. They're working separate. One believing that the other one cannot help, the other one trying to do everything to hold on to the kingdom. The kingdom is taken by outsiders in the meantime, by people who come to hurt you. The kingdom is taken by insiders, by illnesses that they're trying to run you over. The kingdom is in shreds. And this is what happens to a life of anybody in depression. Is just in shreds. Is just in pain. Is just torn apart by everyone, by inside and by outside. So, we need to understand that for a kingdom, we need a royal and a faithful servant to work together. The royal to understand that their problems are fixable and ask for solutions from the servant, not to ask the servant to run the kingdom. The royal is the one who should be making decisions, even if asks for counseling. But you can't let all the decisions be ran by somebody lower in command. It doesn't work like that. And this is why people stay in depression all their life. Their heart and their mind cannot work together. They work separate because the heart is closed. The royal retreats in the tower, and the mind is trying to take over and to explain why the heart is hurt and to try to do everything by logic. Depression has never been solved by logic. It's only been solved by the power of love. Until the royal is not fixed, until the heart is not in full power of love, there is no way a kingdom can be run properly. If you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and you subscribe to my channel. Because I am dedicated to make daily videos to explain to people that depression is a fixable condition. And nobody should suffer in pain, child or adult. Love you guys.